All right. Let's move on, man. Okay. I was kind of getting to this like when it come to beef, it's like you gotta force my hand. I don't go around looking to start nothing with nobody. But if somebody really want problems or they really want smoke or they really want beef with me, like I give it to you. Like all you really gotta do is say you got a problem, like, and we'll handle it however it need to be handled. Like you know what I'm saying? Like that's the gorilla. That's why I say I'm a gorilla prophet, cause I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't know nobody else who shaped, who cut like me. You know what I'm saying? As a real Christian, bona fide, really about the business. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like that too. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't, what I got in my notes. Only giving the business to people who really want smoke or disrespect in a major way. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't even trip on all disrespect. It's levels to everything. It's levels to everything. You know what I'm saying? All disrespect doesn't mean I gotta do something to you. But it's certain levels of disrespect. It's like, oh yeah, I gotta deal with dude. Or continual disrespect. I'ma catch you. I'ma check your temperature. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. But that's it, man. You know what I'm saying? I already talked about turning the cheek, Matthew 5:39. You know what I'm saying? We can't trip on all disrespect. But if somebody act like they really turned up like that, they really wanna, you know what I'm saying, clash, then shoot, we'll clash. You know what I'm saying? Okay, that's enough on that. Oh yeah, I don't really trip on goofy stuff. A lot of stuff be goofy. Like people be on some real goofy stuff. Like I don't even trip on that. You know what I'm saying? Cause I be thinking in my mind like, okay, cuz really on some goofy stuff. Cuz really on some clown stuff, but he really kind of disrespectful. But then I think in my mind like, nah, he don't really want no smoke though. So it's like I'm good. You know what I'm saying? You gotta turn that cheek, man. You know you can't trip on everything. Cause the devil gonna come for you. You know what I mean? You gotta have, certain stuff you can let slide, certain stuff you put off till later. I'ma check his temperature when I catch him in the right situation. Certain stuff you put it off. I'ma check his temperature when I get him in the right situation. Certain stuff you gotta handle it right then. It just depends. Certain stuff you just let it go. I ain't gonna never say nothing about it. Certain stuff I put it off till later. Okay, I'm gonna see what dude talking about when I catch him in the right situation. And then certain things you gotta handle it right then if it's that serious. You know what I'm saying? If it's that serious, you gotta handle it right then. It just depends. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Oh, ooh, this the hardest one right here. This the hardest one right here. This the hardest one right here. Okay. If you ain't like that when you by yourself, you not like that at all. But that don't mean that a person can't do nothing to you. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about a real heart check. When you really look at yourself in the mirror, when you really, you know what I'm saying, sleeping in your bed at night, when you really meditating, when you really looking into yourself, if you ain't like that when you by yourself, you ain't like that at all. If you got to have a group of people around you to be like that, if you got to have another person with you to be like that, then you're not really like that. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing you got to do, you got to be able to look yourself in the mirror. You got to be able to have peace with yourself. You know what I'm saying? When you sleep at night, when you go to bed at night, you gotta have peace with yourself. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? If you not like that when you by yourself, you not like that at all. And then if you let your homeboys get you in a situation, but when the consequences come, your homeboy's not gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? Or your homeboys can be there, but you might get picked out the crowd. Like when you have to deal with the consequences, you be by yourself though. You know what I'm saying? You can get gassed up with your homies, but then you gonna end up paying the consequence by yourself. You know what I'm saying? So that's another reason dudes get snitched on and get told on. They be in a group and they do something, then them investigators get you into the room by yourself and they let you know you're gonna be doing your time by yourself. You know what I'm saying? And dudes get to telling and stuff like that. But I'm not even speaking on that. I'm just saying you can get gassed up when you in a group and not even be thinking for yourself. But when the consequences come back, you're gonna have to handle that yourself. You know what I'm saying? Other people might have consequences too, but it's just when it comes to punishment, you know what I'm saying, you have to deal with your punishment yourself. You know what I'm saying? When it come to punishment, when it come to consequences, you gonna have to handle that yourself. You know what I'm saying? Can't nobody deal with the pain and the agony and the suffering. Like you gonna feel that yourself. Can't nobody take that burden off your shoulder. Everybody gonna have their own burden. You know what I'm saying? When the consequences come back around, everybody gonna have to deal with their own burden of punishment or consequences or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you gotta handle that yourself. But yeah, a lot of people get turned up, when they with their homie or get to talking reckless when they with somebody else or when they in a crowd. You know what I'm saying? But hey, if you ain't like that when you by yourself, you not like that at all. You know what I'm saying? But you just gotta know how to move. I try to be prepared for a group too, but I'm the type of person like I just had to get jumped. I just commit myself to the Lord. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm finna if it just depend on the situation though. Like if it ain't that serious, then I could walk off or whatever and you know what I'm saying, just let the whole situation go. Or I could just walk off and catch the person at a better time. Or I could just go all in right there. Y'all just gonna have to jump me. Like it just depends. It all depends. You know what I'm saying? It all depends. But I'm like that by myself. You know what I'm saying? That's just how God made me though. You know what I'm saying? I don't never want to be dependent on a group or you know what I'm saying? None of that. You know what I'm saying? But I do pray, God, if I'm in a situation and I need help, send me help though. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. It could be an angel, it could be a person. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. If I'm in a situation and you see I need help, send me some help. But I don't be waiting for help. If it's that serious of a situation, I'm going in on my own. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like I'm telling you, like, but it's crazy. Like I'm more like that now than I was then. Like I'm more like that now than I was then. But I think the reason is because I got something more valuable that I'm representing now. I got something more um I got something more heavy. I got something more serious. I got something more valuable that I represent and that I stand on now than what I stood on then. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, but like God, the one who trained me, man. God, the one who trained me, man. You know what I'm saying? God, all the wisdom come from God. So that's why I say it's all God. But a person could not believe in God, but they can still have some wisdom. But all wisdom come from God. You know what I mean? A lot of it is really wisdom. It's really mental. You know what I'm saying? The devil's attack is really mental, but you can't be physically scared. See, that's the thing. A lot of time it's a bluff. A lot of time when you're dealing with the devil, a lot of time it's a bluff. A lot of time it's about intimidation. A lot of time it's about putting you in fear. But check this. You got to really be like that to not be scared. Like you got to really be like that to not be overcome by fear because people will try to intimidate you. So if somebody trying to intimidate me, the first thing I'm thinking is, okay, me and dude might end up fighting. Or me and dude might end up having a rumble. Or me and dude might end up in a combat situation. Like, cause I'm always looking past the bluff. Like, forget, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if it come down to it, me and dude might end up in a combat situation. Like, that's how I'm thinking. Cause I ain't paying no attention to the intimidation and the bluffing and all that. You know what I'm saying? If I feel bad energy or something, I'm thinking in my mind, me and dude might end up in a combat situation. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm scared to end up in a combat situation, then that'll have me moving like a coward. Even though it might not never even come down to that, because that's just the game that the devil play. You know what I'm saying? Because if you scared, then the devil gonna play off your fear. That's spiritual. You know what I'm saying? It can look like it might not look like it's spiritual, but that's spiritual. You know what I'm saying? And then if somebody be like, well, if you a Christian, you shouldn't even think like that. Well, I can't speak for nobody else. You gotta think like that. Because if a person come in acting like they rough and tough, right? And you just be like, oh well, I would never engage in combat with this person. Well, shoot, that person gonna be bullying you, telling you what to do. You know what I'm saying? Disregarding your thoughts and desires and wishes. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, and this the kind of stuff you go through in jail. This the kind of stuff, but this the kind of stuff you go through on the job too. You know what I'm saying? All my stuff really, I'm really talking about the job. You know what I'm saying? I'm really getting all this game from the job, like, or it could just be out and about. You know what I'm saying? It could just be some out and about stuff. You know what I'm saying? Stuff you do in your normal day, grocery store. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. You know what I'm saying? But really on the job, for me, you know what I'm saying? Somebody else, it could be more so jail. But anytime you in close proximity with other people, you're gonna be feeling all them vibes. You're gonna be feeling all them different energies. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be all them different personalities. You know what I'm saying? So a person could come through the door, right? And if you just got it in your mind, like I could never go to combat. I don't do that. I don't fight. Okay. Well, shoot, a person get to trying to tell you what to do, or just not, I ain't gonna say disrespecting you, but you not feeling the respect, right? So a person just telling you what to do and this and that, but you already got in your mind, well, I don't want to end up in a situation with this person. So then, shoot, you just gonna be cowering down. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to be willing to go there. But then when you stand up to a person, you don't even it don't even end up having to go there. But if you were scared, if you weren't willing to have to go to combat with this person, if that's what it end up being, if you not willing to do that, if that's what the situation come down to, then you'll never even have the heart to stand up to the person. Because soon as you try to stand up to the person act like they really want to do something with you. And you scared to go to combat with a person. So then you just end up backing down and they dominate you. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be willing to if it come down to it. You know what I'm saying? That's what give you the heart to stand up to a person. Cause at the end of the day, the worst thing that could happen, or I ain't gonna say the worst thing that could happen, but the thing that could happen that you really don't want to happen, but the thing that could happen is me and this person end up in a combat situation. But I ain't scared of that. So if I ain't scared of that, I'm not gonna be scared to stand up to this person no type of way. Cause if it come down to that, it just come down to that. So I don't have no problem standing up to this person. And then once they see my energy, then they know it can go there too. But they don't want it to go there, so then they start being more respectful. But it's really mental. But it can get physical. But it's really mental. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hope y'all catch what I'm saying. Like, cause like I'm telling you, like I can give you all the game because, and I ain't even had no situations. I ain't even had no combat situations. I'm just telling you the spiritual, mental, emotional side of it. Cause every time I stand my ground, it don't nobody want no problems. And then they had me thinking like maybe I was tripping, but I wasn't tripping. That's the game the devil play. You know what I'm saying? He act rough and tough. But then when you really, you know what I'm saying, somebody that'll really, you know what I'm saying, somebody really get like that, a person don't want no problem. Because check this out. People control their spirits. A person can start getting loose as long as they allowed to do so. But then when you start clashing with somebody and it can actually go somewhere, it can actually turn into something. A person start controlling themselves more. A person start being more respectful. I'm telling you, it's just like a bully. Like at the end of the day, man, the devil is like a big bully, man. You know what I'm saying? The devil like a big bully. You know what I'm saying? And I'm the perfect target because I just be quiet, chilling, minding my business. But when I flip, I flip. But I don't always flip. Sometimes I just, you know what I'm saying? I get a person in the right situation and I check that temperature and it don't be nothing. You know what I'm saying? That's my thing now. You know what I'm saying? But I'm over the top when it come to preaching the word if I feel it like that. But I always stay focused on Jesus though. Because at the end of the day, I know that's really what it's about. It ain't got nothing to do with no street stuff. It ain't got nothing to do with no street politics, no gang politics. All the tension is because I rep Jesus. So I always keep it Jesus. You know what I'm saying? I'll fight you in the name of Jesus. I'm not playing. I swear. But yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? But I always keep it Jesus because I know that's the root of the tension, the friction. You know what I'm saying? I know that's the reason. You know what I'm saying? But I don't run either because you try to change jobs or you try to go here or go there, you gonna go through the same thing because it's spiritual. I done been through the same thing in enough places to know that it's spiritual. So it ain't no point in, well, I'm finna go over here. Oh, it's gonna be better over there. Nah, it's gonna be the same thing wherever. And I stand on business wherever. You know what I'm saying? But war games though. But these is lessons that anybody can really apply though, because remember the devil is really a bully at the end of the day, and it's always a way to deal with a bully. Whether you gotta, you know what I'm saying, whether sometimes it's just being willing to fight, sometimes it's just being willing to stand up to them, sometimes it's being willing to fight, sometimes it's being willing to get a weapon and go to work with the weapon. You know what I'm saying? Because some bullies can fight. Don't get it twisted. Some bullies can fight. Some bullies got some size and some muscle on them. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be willing to go the extra mile and get something else that's gonna help you put that bully in their place. But when you got that kind of mind, people know that. A lot of times people can tell and they don't even want to play with you because they know it's gonna get nasty. You know what I'm saying? But okay, I'm off that. But I said if you ain't like that by yourself, you ain't like that at all. You know what I'm saying? Being about it when the odds are against you and willing to take a loss if that's what it had to be. You know what I'm saying? And then like I said, you can always come back after the loss and you know what I'm saying, get your lick back. It depend though. You know what I'm saying? It depend. Like if it was like some bully stuff, like you can always see about getting your lick back. Sometimes you can take the loss and you ain't gonna have no more problems because you just needed to stand up. But then sometimes if it's gonna, you know what I'm saying, if they, you know what I'm saying, sometimes if they want to keep on trying to do violence or do harm to you, then you got to go the extra mile and, you know what I'm saying, do what you got to do to shut it down. You know what I'm saying? It depends on if it's a continual thing. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to take the loss too. You know what I'm saying? Everything ain't worth crashing out. You know what I'm saying? Everything ain't worth crashing out. Sometimes you just got to show that you're willing to go there. And then, because a person might have thought that you wouldn't go there. So then you show them you willing to go there, even if you take a loss, but you ain't going to have no more problems, though. You know what I'm saying? I've been in all these types of situations, man. I've been in all types of situations. You know what I'm saying? But I always try to use wisdom. You know what I'm saying? I always try to look at why did it happen? You know what I'm saying? Was it somebody on some bully stuff? Or did I do something to, you know what I'm saying, bring that on myself? Like I analyze everything. You know what I'm saying? Okay. I'm off that. I'm off that though. I'm gonna jump into this one. Israel versus Iran. How about that? You know what I'm saying? It's war going on. And it's really some bully stuff because Hamas popped off on Israel and they still got the hostages. So I'm trying to think of what that's called. Like the hostages is kind of what give them an advantage in the situation, but Israel, like, you really have to count the hostages as a loss because you can't take it easy on the enemy because you want the hostages back. You really can't. You can't allow the enemy to manipulate you because you want the hostages back. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's really more reason you really have to count the hostages as a loss, to be honest with you. I know it sound bad. I know it sound bad. But really you have to count the hostages as a loss and then go on and destroy the enemy. You know what I'm saying? Because they trying to use the hostages for leverage, but you really have to count the hostages as a loss. Because you dealing the type of people that you dealing with, they don't, they'll kill them hostages. Hostages could already be dead and they just acting like they still alive. You know what I'm saying? They just using that for leverage. You really have to count the hostages as a loss and destroy the enemy, which is what Israel's pretty much doing. So then, they was all, and then Hamas is already tied in with Iran. So then something happened and Iran just like, we just gonna go straight at them. We not gonna hide behind Hamas. We just gonna come straight at them. And what they did pretty much got shut down. But this is a war tactic. You can't let the enemy get off on you and you don't get off on them. Even though they didn't do no damage to Israel with the 300 missiles and only like only like three out of the 300 didn't get intercepted. And they didn't do no damage. But still, you know what I'm saying? You shot at us. So Israel had to shoot back. But Israel is real calculated because, Israel trying to stay cool with America and the UN and that they still trying to, stay in favor with them. At the end of the day though, eventually everybody gonna be against Israel. But it's not that time yet. You know what I'm saying? So Israel trying to be player. They trying to be calculated, but they still got back at Iran just because we ain't gonna let you shoot at us without us shooting back. Basically. Basically. We not gonna let you swing at us without us swinging back. War games. You know what I mean? So they made a real calculated move and got at Iran. It wasn't nothing major. It wasn't nothing catastrophic, but it was basically like a message. Like, we not gonna let y'all get off on us without us getting off on y'all. And I'm pretty sure Israel did more damage to Iran than Iran did to Israel. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't really publicized or nothing like that. But Israel gonna stand on business. Israel gonna stand on business. Just know that. Just know that. Sometimes you don't know how God's dealing with Israel. You don't know if God's fighting for Israel. Sometimes you don't know if God's punishing Israel because Israel got that love-hate relationship with God. They always had that in and out relationship with God. But God's always loved Israel. So, he can fight for Israel, but then he can be mad at Israel and let their enemies get at him. Like, you never know exactly what type of time God is on with Israel because he loves them, but he chastises them also. So you never exactly know what's going on. As far as I know, it's mostly unbelief. Most of the Israeli Hebrew people are still in unbelief. You know what I mean? So, God can allow things to happen to wake them up, to try to draw them back to the Lord, to draw them to faith in Jesus. Like, you don't always exactly know how God dealing with Israel, but you got to know the Bible though. He always loved them, and they will go through a lot. But at the end of this thing, their eyes gonna be opened. They gonna weep supplications. I think Zechariah 12. You know what I'm saying? They gonna come to repentance for their unbelief, you know what I'm saying? And they gonna come to belief and faith in Jesus, you know, a remnant, you know what I'm saying? And they gonna be taken through the fire and through the water, and they gonna be purged and refined, and they gonna be persecuted. Matthew 24, you know what I'm saying? Luke 21, you know what I'm saying? All type of stuff, you know what I'm saying? The nations gonna all come against Israel, but he gonna fight for Israel, but they will be persecuted. You know what I'm saying? Up until the end, you gonna flee from one city, they persecute you there, flee to another city. You know what I'm saying? He said, "Would no flesh be saved unless he shortened the days?" The flesh he was talking about was the Jewish people. You know what I'm saying? He said, "This generation shall not pass away till all these things be fulfilled." You know, it's gonna be in the heart of the people that's in charge of the world, the people that's ruling the world. It's gonna be in their heart to totally destroy the Jewish people, just because of the fact that the Jewish people is what gave birth to Jesus. Even though those are some of the main people that reject him, he came to his own and his own received him not. Hey man, you know what I'm saying? So, but hey, you know what I'm saying? They gonna want to wipe out the Jewish people, but it ain't gonna never happen. You know what I mean? But a lot of them will be taken out. But that's part of the purging process to bring them to faith in Jesus and open their eyes. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, Israel versus Iran is Israel. Israel really could have let that go, but they had to send a message because Iran didn't do no damage. So Israel really could have let it go and not even responded. But in war, you have to send a message. We're not gonna let you get at us or even attempt to get at us without us getting at you in some type of way. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no major attack what Israel retaliated to Iran. It wasn't nothing major, but it was enough to send a message like we not gonna let you get off on us without us getting back off on you. We not gonna let you, you know what I'm saying, attack us without us attacking back. That was the message. Okay. I'm gonna start the next video on this one.